Life got hard when my koro died. It took me years to get over his passing. My memories of him used to keep me up all night, to a point I needed medication to help me sleep. To the locals, our koro was known as the grumpy old man who was always drunk. Not to us kids. He was the only man in our lives who taught us how to put food on the table from our own backyard. Most weekends, Koro would take us out hunting. If we went hunting, we were out diving for seafood. Though Koro was strict, all we had to do was follow his rules. Respect his whare, no shoes inside, no eating in the rooms, don't muck around where you shouldn't be, but most of all, respect the whenua. One night Koro got so drunk he made us sit with him under his pōhutukawa tree. Here he shared stories passed down from his own koro. How this pōhutukawa wasn't just a tree, it was the kaitiaki of this land. He shared stories of how our whānau survived before shops and roads were built, how floods came and destroyed gardens full of kai, how whānau who lost everything never panicked, but moved together as one. Whānau near the sea bought fish, kodo and shellfish. Whānau inland shared kumara, potatoes and whatever else the whenua provided. There was one story that stuck with us forever, a story that came true a few years later. I remember that night like it was yesterday. The rain came hard that week. Everyone in our small town thought it would pass. Unfortunately, it didn't. The rain got heavier and heavier. We could hear the river roaring as though it was right next to us. By the third night, water burst through the banks and rushed straight into our small town. We barely had time to grab anything. Mum yelled for us to run. Our uncle tried grabbing what he could, and my little cousins were crying trying to keep up. The water hit us so fast we barely made it out of the house alive. People were being swept off their feet. Our neighbours screamed for their tamariki. The floods didn't care who you were. It took whoever stood in its way. For a moment I thought we were gone. Then we saw it. Koro's tree. Our pōhutukawa standing high like our koro himself, refusing to shift. The water pushed us towards it, guiding us. We grabbed at anything we could. Roots breaking through the flood. Low-hanging branches dripping with rain. Uncle helped lift kids onto the limbs. Mum wrapped her arms around a root and told me to hold on. The most crazy thing was, it felt like the tree was our koro holding us tight. Wave after wave crashed through trying to rip us away, but the tree didn't move. It didn't bend, it didn't break. It held us the whole night while our town disappeared beneath the water. Mum called on our koro through karakia, crying as she held on to us. When the flood waters dropped, one by one we climbed down onto the muddy ground. Every single one of us survived that night, just like Koro says. When we walked back towards the house to see what was left of it, we couldn't help but stare back at the pōhutukawa tree, giving thanks for saving us. For the first time I saw it the way my koro did, not as a tree, but as whānau, as our kaitiaki, as the guardian of our lives. I remember Koro was sitting underneath it, telling us, our people weren't saved by luck, they were saved by this whenua, by this tree. I never believed him, until the night it saved us. Now when the river swells or dark clouds gather, we still stand by that pōhutukawa. We whisper thank you. We remember how its branches carried us and how its roots anchored our family. I can hear Koro's voice. I told you, Moko, one day you would understand.